how well you are serviced at your convenience.
Daily part of commitments are Hama.
Yeah, steel is my main business. How we calculate is per capita. So first you have to make iron. So iron कसरी बनाउने भन्दाखेरि first you take the rock and you make the metal. So if you do the whole thing, then you make your own steel, right, from your own soil. Our idea was, why don't we start with scrap? Especially here, we had the problem of manpower.
Nepalको steel industry को सबभन्दा ठुलो problem नै dependency हो.
First is the infrastructure. Steel को ecosystem is pretty vibrant.
Market सानो हुनु र market immature हुनु भन्ने एउटै कुरा हो.
You run a marathon, you're going to go through a lot of pain points. But if you like to run a marathon, you run the marathon.
Exactly.
So technology is there, obviously, but we still need people. So here what we can do is low volume, high value. The present is quite painful. It is painful, but
I like हजुर हाँसी it's quite painful.
Yeah, we all have to go through this pain.
Do you ever think of giving up?
Yeah. Entrepreneur journey is a very lonely journey. You have to be willing to go down to the nitty-gritties of things and teach yourself and relearn and unlearn and again go and educate yourself. There's a new thing coming up, adoption. So you have to put effort, you have to work, and I think it's true for anybody, whether you're privileged or not. It's a time to just try everything. What do you lose? The shirt on your back.
Which is very inspiring, which is the adventurous side of you.
Oh yeah. So business is also one of them. हिमाल चढ्नै पर्छ भन्ने छैन हैन. Retreat गर्नुको लागि पनि you can go. अलिकति डिस्कम्फर्टमा राखेर get to know more about yourself. अब हुने नहुने त्यो आफ्नो ठाउँमा छ. तर आफ्नो काम त गर्नु पर्यो.
Rajan Dai, स्वागत छ हाम्रो पडकास्टमा.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Rajan Daiको short and sweet introduction दिँदाखेरि चाहिँ you are a managing director at Hama Steel.
Yes.
And you also play a role in a board of Siddhartha Premier Insurance.
Yeah, it's now called SPIL.
SPIL.
Siddhartha Premier Insurance Ltd.
Okay.
So we call it SPIL.
Okay.
So I sit on the board. So our job there is basically my job there is to sit the board is to at least give the company some direction, help with policy matters, and look after the shareholders. And so we merged 2 years back, and I think we have been quite successful in the sea of mergers that has happened in the past many years. And so hopefully, insurance business will take up, and we have full confidence that the maturity of this industry is going to grow, and hopefully, like the other financial industries, like the banking sector, I think insurance is going to have its day soon.
You insurance and steels are so two different, very different industry, eh?
Yes, absolutely.
How do you divide your time?
Yeah, but like I said, insurance, I just sit, occasionally, and I sit in committees, and we do decide on a few things there. But yes, it's a rapidly growing industry, and I think if we do make insurance as part of our daily life, and I think it will at some point. For example, banking ko pani, people use banking every day as a part of their daily life, right? And if you go to gaउँहरुमा गयो भने, banking has become the checkbook छैन नि. Everything is barcode, and technology has taken over and done wonders ni. So access to the banking sector has just been phenomenal. I think insurance is yet to do that, and there's still some little trust issues with because generally insurance is something that you pay premiums which you don't want to pay at that point in time. अनि पैसा पाउने बेलामा चाहिँ claims नपाउला कि time लाग्छ भन्ने एउटा सानो डर चाहिँ छ. So we're trying to bridge that gap, obviously by deploying a little bit more automation in underwriting, starting off with AI and things of that nature. Let's hope. I think I think there's nothing else but to grow at a more steadier pace now.
कुनै पनि इन्सुरेन्सलाई कम्पेयर गर्ने चाहिँ उ होला के है. You compare between त्यो claims made or reimbursement के है.
Yes. So if you see India again, we have to compare with India. India, obviously the insurance market is massive, but in when a customer goes in and he goes into these aggregate websites, and you'll see the whole measurement now is your company यति दिनमा claims दियो. So you have this section where then your choice, because it's loyalty त छैन नि कुनै brandमा. So it's just that how well you are serviced at your convenience. And hopefully we can solve that issue of trust. And obviously, again, fraudulency पनि छ. So we also have to keep that in mind. And hopefully a lot of the technologies that are available now are coming up, which can help in fraudulency, which can help in risk assessment, and and moreover claim settlement.
अनि हजुरको डेली पार्ट अफ कमिटमेन्ट चाहिँ हामामा हो.
Yeah, steel is my is my main business, and it's been my passion for the last 25 years. I started 1999 actually. So that shows how many years ago that was.
हजुर इन्जिनियर पनि हो नि हैन?
Yes, I'm a industrial engineer by vocation.
डुवर्समा आई थिङ्क हामीले एकदमै फ्यु इन्डस्ट्रियलिस्टलाई लिएर आएको छौँ होइन. अनि आइएम क्वाइट एक्साइटेड आजको एपिसोडमा चाहिँ आई होप
Yeah, let's hope we can extract as much as possible.
सो के छ दाइ अहिले जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल इकोनोमीको पर्सपेक्टिभबाट हेर्दाखेरि हेर्दाखेरि
Let me just draw context first. Okay, so Nepalको whole industrial context ma चाहिँ let me just, I think, for your viewers to understand that see, हाम्रो राणा शासन थियो for 105 years.
104 years.
104 years. Okay, 104 years आउँदै खास त्यस्तो भएन हाम्रो. There was no concentration on infrastructure, education, industry, hardly. So 51, 52 देखि त सुरु भयो नि हाम्रो actual starting of today's whatever we have today started off from then. So 60s, 50s, 60s, it was just trying to set up. I think 70s, 80s देखि लिएर some infrastructure started happening, education started happening, all of that started happening around that time. Especially industrial side मा चाहिँ you can see a lot of development in the 70s and 80s starting up. I think the government had few mills coming up with the Russians, and sugar mills, and the cement plants, and all of that started coming in. Steel also started, very, very basically. More effort was on the trading side, and so then 90s, in the early 90s, then the real liberation and the real big reform came in, and we had a good few years then. Then again the whole insurgency, the Maoists came up, and then again 2006, then 8, then we had a little bit of infighting, then 15 earthquake ayo, त्यसपछि नाकाबन्दी भयो, त्यसपछि then COVID, and then we are here today. So there's development hunalai. We have tried, we have struggled, and we are where we are today. And I think the economy has been a little difficult in the last few years, and everybody has felt that pain, and we have to just grow through this.
हजुरसँग अस्ति लास्ट टाइम कुरा गर्दाखेरि अनुप हजुरले मलाई के भन्नु, अनुप वी आर इन क्राइसिस मोड भन्दै हुनुहुन्थ्यो कि?
Yeah. Most of our time we have been in crisis mode because of various factors. Because our limited access to finance, So basically, you see, most of the companies in Nepal, we have that funny saying that we're trying to fix the plane while it's flying. So we've been doing that consistently over time. So to really have something that is prescribed and moving well with, I think, there are people who are doing it. It's not that the banking sector has matured, the insurance industry is maturing, manufacturing will mature as well. And I think it's my deep hope that things will balance out pretty well.
हामा सुरु भएको कति भयो दाइ?
We started production 93.
93.
Yeah, we started production. That time कस्तो थियो भन्दाखेरि पहिला स्टिल भनेको चिज चाहिँ आइरन एन्ड स्टिल लेख्थ्यो थियो हैन. But that time maybe the whole idea was a little bit के भन्ने अलिकति lack of education थियो होला. But we used to call everything iron and steel. Iron भन्थ्यो, steel भन्थ्यो, त्यो differentiation थाहा थिएन. But yeah, so started off with mostly rebars, and the rest were, and a little bit of the jasta बनाउने. So a lot of guys were making, I think Hulas was the guy who was making the jasta त्यति बेला.
जस्ता जस्ता पाता टाइपको.
So because हाम्रो हिली टरेनमा चाहिँ अब त्यो बाटो नभइकन त्यो सेड त बनाउन सकेको रुफ त बनाउन सकेको थिएन. सो दे मेकिङ द पार्ट अफ द हाउस एन्ड देन माथि चाहिँ सेड राख्थ्यो. सो अ लट अफ के भन्छ जस्ताहरू बनाउने. सो डन्डी चाहिँ वाज प्रिडोमिनेन्टली सिटिजको लागि चाहिँ थियो. सो त्यति बेला चाहिँ started off with steel started off in Nepal with it used to be called CTD rebars, cold deformed twisted rebars, and the brand name at that point was Tor Steel. Okay, so Tor Steel was the technology that was used back then, and so that was a specific grade of 415 Fe 415. Then came the early 2000s, and then TMT started coming up, and we are still with TMT till today.
मलाई TMT के याद
TMT was thermo-mechanically treated.
मलाई TMT
Oh, that's ACD. I used to be a big ACDC fan. I still am actually. Yeah.
Those are the days.
Yeah. Nice voice though.
यो कन्स्ट्रक्सन यो स्टिलको इन्डस्ट्री के अरे प्रोडक्ट कन्ज्युम हुने भने त कन्स्ट्रक्सनमै त हो नि होइन.
One part.
Okay.
One part. That is the
Major
rebar.
part.
Yeah. So the rebar. So steel basically is something that is used. If you put your frame today to anything in the world, you'll see so much things made out of steel. It could be in your white goods. It could be in construction, inside concrete. It could be
car that
you're driving. So many things. It could be the medical stuff that you're doing. So there's just a wide scope of steel that we do, but we general public के सोच्छ भन्दाखेरि पहिला स्टिल भनेको चम्चा हैन
स्टेनलेस स्टिल
या सो त्यो स्टिलको चाहिँ द्याट जनरल त्यो थियो. बट नाउ अभियसली it's going more towards hydropower and stuff like that. So a lot of it is on steel, which is on we call it the flat products, the hot band ones. The steel plates, sheets, so a lot of engineering happens with that. So fabrication. So a lot of the industry, the construction industry is also adopting all these kinds of new technologies that are coming up, which is not so new outside, but maybe a lot newer and more nascent stage in Nepal.
So let me reframe my question again. नेपालमा चाहिँ maximum steel खपत हुने industry चाहिँ कुन हो, if you have to like list?
Yeah. So if you draw a pyramid, the highest volume right at the bottom is rebar.
Okay.
So that's
कुन industry मा? Building मा, घर
बनाउने. So if you see the highest and it's the lowest margin at the point, then you have to move up the value chain. So you go into more special steels or more more value add गर्दै गर्दै, then you move up the pyramid.
And highest चाहिँ के हो?
Now it'll be all alloy, and then you go into space technologies and all of that. So you go into like really specialized kind of steel. But so it's all steel, and it's how you make it.
Just for example, just say India travel गर्दा, China travel गर्दा फेरि you see massive construction being happen के हैन, चारैतिर हुनै भइरहेको छ.
So how we calculate is per capita. So India is nearing 100 kg per person. So Nepal, we're still stuck with, I think, around 35-40 kgs per person. China 700. So you can see the amount of steel being used per person is massive, right? So Hamrozai, we're still there's still a lot more to go, and then a lot more to improve. But now I was just telling you the other day that the advent of new technology is coming in, and new processes that enable Nepal to also start being a little bit more self-sufficient. So Atmanirbhar bhन्छ नि. So big industries like steel, cement should be at some point be self-sufficient within the country. Because अहिले हेऱ्यो भने if you see the drain of money that's going out of the country, first is petroleum products and second is steel. So
किन हाम्रो इन्डस्ट्रीले दिन नसकेर?
Import. So we're importing a lot more. So even the
दिन नसकेर कि ब्रान्ड बाहिरको स्ट्रङ्गर भएर?
No. We're importing the steel and we're doing little value addition here and then.
Okay. So iron ore import गरेर आएको छ भन्नु खोज्नु?
No. We're not doing the basic things here. We're not making our own steel here. Very little. Still, the real steel that is the small percentage of what steel we are making here यही बनाइरहेछ क्या कम छ so अब the next step is to start looking at doing this on our own.
त्यसको लागि र मेटेरियल्स पनि हाम्रो हुनु पर्यो नि त हैन
र मटेरियलको लागि चाहिँ अहिले अब स्टडी भइरहेछ गभर्मेन्टले गरिरहेछ बट इट इज क्वाइट स्लो धवाडी आइरन भन्ने छ धवाडी आइरन सो कावासिटीको अलि उता there's this whole so that's the biggest reserve that we've seen. There's other reserves as well.
अहिलेसम्म थाहा भएको अनुसार
So there are irons I बनाउँछ. So let me just explain how steel is made. If I can go a little bit technical.
Yeah, please.
So basically steel is a little further down the line. So first you have to make iron. हैन So iron कसरी बनाउने भन्दाखेरि first you take the rock and you make the metal. हैन So when you make from the rock to the metal, there's a lot of energy and a lot of greenhouse gases that are produced. Then you make the metal. Then steel is made, I mean, the metal that you want from the metal that you have, then you make it. Okay, so then there is some value addition or a lot of value addition that's made. So if you do the whole thing, then you make your own steel, right, from your own soil. Right? So त्यसमा चाहिँ अब now you need coal, you need a lot of
energy sources.
Yeah. So our idea was why don't we start with scrap, recycling scrap, and generally हाम्रो माइन्डमा के छ भने स्क्रैप चाहिँ राम्रो हैन. Yes, I mean,
फालिएको कुरा हो नि त
फालिएको कुरा हो. But if you look at it, technologies are available to clean that scrap, to melt it, and to make better steel, refine it, and make the specifications that you want. So it is possible. Right now, the current technologies that are available is not really making the grades, the cleaning up, and all of that. There are a lot of limitations to what's happening at this point. But yeah, so the project that we are going to start off with is going to do all of that, and hopefully Nepal has a good floating scrap. I mean, it's small, but हाम्रो कसो भने we as a culture like to reuse more than to recycle. I don't know how to define that. तर अब हामी के त फ्याल्दैन नि त्यो फ्रिजको लास्ट डाइङ डे सम्म विल गिभ इट टु somebody and then that will get passed on to somebody. गाडी पनि त will till the last dying day also will use it हैन. So हामीले चाहिँ त्यसलाई चाहिँ reuse गर्ने चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ we try to reuse it as much as possible हैन. So बाहिर चाहिँ the life cycle of any equipment or anything has a shorter duration. So त्यसलाई चाहिँ फ्यालेर then they recycle it. So higher income countries are more susceptible to recycling. And obviously they have the recycling plants and stuff like that. And then so this technology that most countries use is called the electric arc furnace. And the electric arc furnace is made in such a way that khana paka jastai. So if you go to a restaurant and you want consistent quality output, there's a recipe, and then the people follow that recipe. There's a process, all of that, and then you get. And a good restaurant is a guy who's consistent with his end product, right? So similarly, you can take a lot of scrap and then a lot of whatever scrap that you have, and you can make it into the quality that you require. And त्यो चाहिँ टेक्नोलोजीमा चाहिँ अवेलेबल छ.
अनि त्यो टेक्नोलोजी नेपालमा आइसक्यो
अब आउँदैछ.
हजुरले ल्याएर
No, it is there. It's not like I'm bringing it new. बाहिर गरिरहेकै छ. And especially here we had the problem of manpower. अब पहिला के हुन्थ्यो भन्दाखेरि स्टिलमा स्पेशली I'm talking about steel, maybe other manufacturing companies as well, is a lot of the technologies and know-how was locked away in certain apprenticeship or certain groups. By it was kept within closed walls. But AI is starting to change all of that now. So a lot of data is there, a lot of recipe managements are there. So you can now without much manpower or experienced manpower. So we talked about democratizing a little bit of experience, a little bit of knowledge. So गर्नु सकिन्छ. So we've seen that it is possible, and so we're going to try that.
So are you also telling कि हामीले नेपालकै existing यो scrapहरूलाई recycle गर्यौँ भने we can be sustainable in our steel needs?
Yeah, absolutely. So once we
कति वर्षसम्म?
See, my thought process is also that हाम्रो scrap has been politicized. होइन सो दिस अब 1950s अघि कुरा गरेँ नि 1950sदेखि लिएर कति आई मिन लट अफ गभर्मेन्ट एजेन्सिज जस्ट होल्डिङ द स्क्रैप यु गो टु ट्राफिक यु गो समय यत्रो छ त्यत्तिकै फालिरहेछ बेचेको छैन नि सो we don't know how much is that, but I do know that if we take out everything, let's call it obsolete scrap. I think there'll be enough to go around for a couple of years, and we don't have to import much. So that's the whole idea: is to keep everything locally as much as possible, and that will see sustainability is not only being environmental. Or when people think sustainable, when it's environment, yes, environment is needed, but also socially and as well as you need to be financially. You need to be that, and obviously we have a mismatch in our financial system today because a lot of the money goes out and our cycle times are great. We have to stock everything, so our financial cycles are pretty large. You know, so it's has to change. It has to change slowly, and the more we keep it local, more we buying local, and stuff like that. I think that there can be some change in the near future.
आजको दिनमा नेपालको स्टिल इन्डस्ट्रीको सबभन्दा ठुलो प्रब्लम नै डिपेन्डेन्सी हो बाहिरको
Yeah, so dependency problems I think would be three. One, this again for me, yeah, totally. First is the infrastructure, the infrastructure, logistics, and general road, all of that. So to get to where you need it to go, it becomes a hassle. Then second is obviously your bureaucratic, problems, and third is your access to funds. So
यो त नेपालको समस्या जस्तो भन्नु हजुरले स्टिलको भन्दा पनि
yes, I mean it is there.
दिस सिम्स यो समस्या त कुनै पनि इन्डस्ट्रीमा टक्क गएर हाल्नु मिल्छ फिट इन हुने समस्या हो
yeah. So but that is also changing, no? So you can see the rise of a lot of these private equities coming in. There are a lot more other financial tools like going for IPOs and all of that. So see, I'm no expert in all of this, but it is changing, and I think slowly
So if we have to go a bit deeper than your logistic and transportation bureaucratic bureaucracy त्यसपछि एक्सेस टु फन्ड भन्दा अझै तल जानु पऱ्यो एन्ड इफ यु वान गो मोर स्पेसिफिक टु स्टिल इन्डस्ट्री what are the other specific domain specific problem your industry go
market. So see, the way I look at it is there are very few places in the world that God has given or God has blessed. भगवानले जुन bless गरेछ नि where you have the mineral or the raw material, हैन, and the energy and the market which are all three together. हैन, यो तीनटा चीज हुनु the permutation of these three being together in good measure भनौँ न गाह्रो छ. हाम्रो अलि कस्तो भने मार्केट पनि अलिकति अहिले त लास्ट 3 इयर्समा झन् बिग्रेछ. सो मिनरल त अब हामीले स्टार्टै गरेको छैन होइन. सो द ओन्ली थिङ द्याट वी हेभ इज एटलिस्ट एनर्जी, एन्ड वी हेभ अ प्रिटी गुड सोर्स अफ एनर्जी विच इज रिन्युएबल होइन. सो I think that's a good space for Nepal to start off with, because then we can be a good promoter of green products. So we can electrify most of our downstream processes or upstream processes, and then we can actually start to think about promoting how we can be greener in our production, and start using less gases and other sources of fuel. Sorry, I'm getting a little technical with you.
No problem. मलाई अझै डिपर जान मन लाग्यो.
Yeah, please.
होइन, बिकज अहिलेसम्म हजुरले भनेको प्रब्लम चाहिँ इट्स अ भेरी प्लग एन्ड प्लेवाला प्रब्लम द्याट आई क्यान पोइन्ट टु एनी इन्डस्ट्री. इफ यु आस्क मी अनु मिडिया र कम्युनिकेसनको प्रब्लम यो तिनटै आउँछ होला कि.
I haven't even gone to the distribution and marketing side.
अगेन सुरुदेखि भन्दाखेरि ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन, लजिस्टिक, ब्युरोक्रेटिक हर्डल्स, एक्सेस टु फन्ड, मार्केट. मैले खास पनि खोजेको एन्सर चाहिँ इन्डस्ट्री स्पेसिफिक प्रब्लम चाहिँ के छ स्टिल इन्डस्ट्रीको, द्याट इज लाइक टु इन्डस्ट्रीको नट अ भेरी मार्केट कम छ भनेको.
It's an ecosystem, right? So if you see India, even steelको ecosystem is pretty vibrant. Like I can get spare parts anytime I want. So we are living in like a island. Okay? So मेरो spare parts, I need a spare part, I run to India. So I don't have a very robust ecosystem. Like I need something, suppose breakdown, I need something. I can't just pick up the phone and have it being collected in 2 hours. It's impossible. I have to wait for a couple of days. So the ecosystemलाई हामीले चाहिँ अलिकति बिस्तारै करेक्ट गर्दै लानुपर्छ भन्ने I told you that maybe we should start this whole little bit of that ecosystem, and it will come in due time when the market becomes a little bit mature, and and we depend a lot on India for everything. So our dependency is also one of our drawbacks, but so things can change. It's not like we're still stuck, but everything will change slowly.
मार्केट सानो हुनु र मार्केट इमेच्योर हुनु भन्ने एउटै कुरा हो.
Maybe the same, but also immaturity is also not knowing the product pretty well. So a lot of the steel is also an engineering product. You have to understand, it's not only a commodity. The commodity is the raw material, but we've commoditized the final product as well. Because if you're making a house, it has to be designed. It has to be designed out of whatever specification, whatever. So there's a lot of calculation that goes into this thing. But then we're mostly worried on the cost and all of that other things, commercial things, which should be there. I'm not saying it shouldn't be there. It should be there. But we're using this as say rebar is like a commodity, and now it's almost termed as a commodity. But obviously it has specs, it has things. But the maturity will come when we are selling in kg. Tomorrow it will be sold in length. So when you're selling in length, it becomes a totally new paradigm. And so two changes about India must slowly bhairasa. Again, I told you, we sit here in the in this luxury of preview, and what happens in India will possibly happen to us in a couple of years, or if not sooner.
हजुरको एजुकेसन इन्डियाबाट भएर पनि हो, because you reflect a lot of things back to the India.
Yeah. So I went to two schools. So I went to the school in Darjeeling called Mount Herman School.
कति क्लास कति क्लासमा?
So I was KG to 12.
Okay.
So boarding school all the way, and त्यसपछि म Bangalore गएँ. So I did my engineering there.
इन्जिनियरिङमा हजुर इन्डस्ट्रियल इन्जिनियरिङ?
Yes. I did my industrial engineering. So त्यहाँ गएर then I came back straight to work.
आई रिमेम्बर हजुरले मलाई हजुरको एउटा स्टोरी भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अनुप वेन आई वाज स्कुल म भ्याकेसनमा चाहिँ घर जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ आई युज टु गो विथ माई ड्याड अन डिफ्रेन्ट.
Yeah. So my dad was बुवा चाहिँ before he started he was trading before. ट्रेड गरिराख्नु भएको थियो स्टिलकै. उहाँको पसल चाहिँ नेसनल ट्रेडिङको ठ्याक्कै अपोजिट थियो. And so there's another story to that. But anyway, so trade गरिराख्नु भएको थियो, and then he became the director for Himal Cement. अनि त्यसपछि director of Nepal Bank. So Nepal Bank भइसकेपछि म हलिडे हुँदाखेरि अनि उहाँसँग जानुहुन्थ्यो फ्याक्ट्रीहरू. So every winter holidays was at least every holiday had a big quotient of traveling to factories. So my love for visiting factories started from there. And
अनि यो त्यति बेला नै क्ल्यारिटी थियो कि यस्तै इन्डस्ट्री?
Not really. I wanted to be in some sort of industry. Manufacturing. And I just loved it, and the environment or something. As a child, the one you like something when you like it. So मलाई चाहिँ मन पर्थ्यो strangely. So I'd gone to many plants in Nepal first, and then I remember going to Thailand को त्यो YY factory गएको थियो म एकचोटि.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was again for a different reason. But I remember that very well. So that was my first international, and we had got to Siam Cement as well. So Siam Cement पनि गएको थिएँ म. So when I was young, I'd visited 2 plants here.
अनि +2 दिएपछि यु आर क्वाइट क्लियर कि इन्जिनियरिङ नै गर्ने हो?
Yeah, absolutely. There was no like I want to do this. No, I said I'm going to do this, and I'm going to join quickly. So for class 12 दिँदाखेरि I think हाम्रो production सुरु भइरहेको थियो, and I remember the first day of production. I was there. I have a photo.
यो बिजनेस फ्यामिलीमा जन्मिँदा हुर्किँदा फेरि एउटा त प्रेसर हुन्छ कि I need to carry on with what was already built before me.
See, like I said, for me it was quite clear. I liked it. The good part was I liked it.
It was not forced.
Yeah, it wasn't forced. So I'm not saying you run a marathon, you're going to go through a lot of pain points. but if you like to run a marathon, you run the marathon.
Exactly.
So I'm running the marathon here. So it is a marathon. It's a long term game, and you have your ups and downs, and yeah, you deal with it.
हजुरको ड्याडले फेस गरिरहेको प्रब्लम र हजुरले अहिले फेस गरिरहेको प्रब्लममा
It's the
चाहिँ
same. Just kidding.
मैले के सोध्ने वाला थिएँ भन्नु न
What?
हजुरको ड्याडले फेस गरिरहेको प्रब्लम र हजुरले फेस गरिरहेको प्रब्लममा चाहिँ वाट पर्सेन्टेज अफ प्रब्लम स्टिल एक्जिस्ट एन्ड वाट पर्सेन्टेज आर द न्युअर प्रब्लम्स
Bureaucracy problem is still the same, as you know. Obviously, that has over time.
बिकेम मोर डिफिकल्ट
I don't know what it is, difficult or more simpler, but it is there, and it's not going to go away. A lot of the manual stuff has gone away.
ओके
Okay, so
बिकज अफ टेक्नोलोजी
because of technology. So a lot of the management systems have changed. A lot of the communications have changed. So धेरै चिज चेन्ज भइसक्यो होइन अब मार्केटको डिस्ट्रिब्युसन एन्ड थिङ हेज नट पर्टिकुलरली चेन्ज एन्ड आई थिङ्क इट इज ड्यू फर अ चेन्ज एन्ड इट लुक्स लाइक इट विल बिकज द जनरल डिस्ट्रिब्युसन अफ steel and cement is predominantly similar to what happened 30 years ago. Dealership and all of that. So e-commerce might change. I have a deep hope that it will.
हामी स्टोरी सुन्छौँ नि चाइनामा कपडा किने जस्तै सिमेन्ट र स्टिल इन्टरनेटबाट मगाउने हो भनेर
But China, what I see when I go and travel China, even India now, Westमा त धेरै चेन्ज भइसक्यो. So people making individual homes are not so much as a real estate company does. Real estate company does a massive thing, and you go and buy the house as an individual. I know. So you're not really participating in the construction of your house. So somebody else is doing it for you. So then we are dealing with a bigger company. So our deliveries, all of that changes, right? So Nepal, still that hybrid model is still going on. Real estate companies are still are not very large, like how they have in our neighboring countries. So once that changes, then we don't know whether it's a B2C. Right now it's a B2B/C, the hybrid kind of thing. But, yeah.
आई थिङ्क त्यो पनि होला है आई थिङ्क यो हजुरको इन्डस्ट्री स्टिलको इन्डस्ट्रीलाई आउने त्यो एउटा म्यासिभ रेभोल्युसन चाहिँ भने दिज रियल इस्टेट कम्पनीज बिकम सो बिग
Absolutely.
होइन थाउजन्ड्स अफ करोडको कन्स्ट्रक्सन गर्न थालेपछि चाहिँ
Yeah, then we, because then their requirements become slightly different. So then they're, because you see a lot of the construction companies or the real estate guys, they measure their cost in running meter, right? And we're giving it weight. So if our quality is not good enough, and then they lose, and so for them to calculate also, they're doing it. I'm not saying they're not doing it, but it would be easier if we start going and more aligning towards their needs. So बिस्तारै हुन्छ. So giving it to them how they want it, when they want it. So that will change.
म काठमाडौँ आएको आई थिङ्क 18 वर्ष जति भयो होला होइन मैले +2 दिन काठमाडौँ आएको अनि अहिले लास्ट 5-6-7 इयर्समा काठमाडौँमा चाहिँ विल सी सो मेनी स्काई स्क्रेपर्स के अब आई डोन्ट नो इफ दे क्यान बी कल्ड स्काई स्क्रेपर्स होइन सो मेनी हाई राइज बिल्डिङ भनौँ न अहिले त जुन ठाउँमा उभिएर हेऱ्यो भने पनि विल सी एउटा 4-5वटा हाई राइज बिल्डिङ देख्नुहुन्छ होइन प्लस यो ललितपुर एरियामा त कति कन्स्ट्रक्सन भइरहेको छ हुन्छ हरेक एरियामा कन्स्ट्रक्सन भइरहेको छ त्यो अब गुड साइन नै हो नि होइन एक्सट्रिमली गुड साइन
It is, but what we need to is its own काठमाडौँ मात्र त होइन नि होइन. सो अरू पनि त डेभलप हुनु पऱ्यो. अरू पनि काठमाडौँ बाहेक अरू पनि त आउनु पऱ्यो नि. नेपालको त धेरै ठाउँ छ नि. हामी त काठमाडौँ सीमित मात्र त होइन नि. सो it should happen on a wider scale. Right now it's more individuals doing it because capital is more centric here. होइन. So this is again another issue where we have to go more outside, and there should be more opportunity outside. This is my personal view.
त्यो हजुरलाई पनि थाहा हुन्छ होला कि है जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल मेजोरिटी अफ द भोल्युम अफ प्रोडक्सन कहाँ कुन सिटीमा कन्ज्युम भइरहेको छ भने थाहा हुन्छ होला
It's
Kathmandu.
Kathmandu.
इफ यु हेभ टु किप इट इन पुट इन टु अ पर्सेन्टेज
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't say.
टेन्टेटिभ एकदम ऱ्यान्डम
Yeah, I would say 65% would be Kathmandu. You see any
हरेक इन्डस्ट्री
because population is centric here. होइन. अब अरू सिटिजहरूको हाम्रो tier 1 tier 2 सिटी नै अब खास
डिफाइन नै
डिफाइन छैन होइन
सो इन्डियन पडकास्ट सुन्यो भने चाहिँ दे टक इन टर्म्स अफ टियर 1मा यस्तो टियर 2मा यस्तो टियर 3मा यस्तो होइन
Yeah. So हाम्रो त्यस्तो डिफाइन छैन. So for example, Bhairava has the West is still pretty good for development. I think we'll see more development that side, and you're seeing a lot of entrepreneurs coming out. I'm from different parts of Nepal, which is very encouraging. A lot of people are coming up, bringing up projects because now they have more access to finance. The access is there now a little bit. The airports are opening up, even though it's not doing well. But
Hopefully they will.
Yeah. So it's just I'm just trying to be optimistic. I'm not going to say blame things this and that side, but I'm just saying is that let's give it a hope that things happen. I know it's like having hope right now is like something
the most important.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why we're doing this is because
yeah, absolutely.
And even like I'm from Bhairava, and I cannot imagine doing this, what I'm doing here in Kathmandu in Bhairava. Okay? I don't think I'll last more than a couple of months with the revenue. And त्यो कन्टेक्समा चाहिँ अथवा मलाई त के लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ आई माइट बी रङ मेरो एकदमै यो लिमिटेड नलेजले हुनसक्छ होइन तर मलाई के लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ इट्स मच इजियर टु इफ यु डोन्ट रियली ह्याभ धेरै क्यापिटल छैन इफ यु कम फ्रम अ भेरी के अरे जिरोबाट सुरु गरेर राख्नु भएको छ भने चाहिँ काठमाडौँ माइट बी अ बेटर प्लेस टु स्टार्ट विथ किन भन्दाखेरि यहाँ चाहिँ एटलिस्ट सर्भिस साइडको स्क्रैचबाट सुरु गर्न चाहिँ मच इजियर जस्तो लाग्ने बिकज द्याट एन नम्बर अफ अपर्च्युनिटिज एन नम्बर अफ पिपल यु क्यान मिट अराउन्ड होइन इन्स्टेड लाइक गोइङ ब्याक टु द लाइक हुन्छ नि लाइक अरू टायर वान अरू टायर्सको सिटिजहरूभन्दा काठमाडौँमा चाहिँ इट्स मच इजियर टु स्टार्ट फ्रम द स्क्रैच टु स्टार्ट फ्रम थिङ्स लाइक स्टार्ट फ्रम जेरो जस्तो लाग्छ क्या मलाई चाहिँ आई डोन्ट नो if other feels the same as well or not.
See, last month, land is very expensive, Kathmandu. If you want to do something substantial, you have to go back. Okay, for your kind of work, maybe not so. But if you want to go to like larger manufacturing, you want to go to, you need to go outside.
Industries नै भनौँ
Yeah. So जानै पर्छ होइन अब त्यहाँ इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर त्यसको लागि त बन्नै पर्यो होइन सो इट्स ह्यापनिङ बट नट एज क्विकली अर एज वी वुड लाइक टु मोर कोहेरेन्ट फ्यासन
मैले बल्ल त्यो सिङ्क भयो हजुरले किन नम्बर 1मा चाहिँ लजिस्टिक्स र ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन भन्नुभयो भनेर के किन भन्दाखेरि जहाँ लजिस्टिक ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन बवाल भएको भए त कुनामा गएर बनाएर पनि डिस्ट्रिब्युट गर्न पाएको बेस्ट
चाइना यु क्यान गो एनीवेयर नो यु क्यान बी नियर द र मटेरियल यु क्यान बी अब सो वी हेभ टु वर्क अ लिटल बिट मोर हार्डर होइन सो अलिक टाइम लाग्छ सो बन्दैछ अब लाइक इलेक्ट्रिसिटी हेज रिच्ड अब टिल द लास्ट पर्सन भनौँ न अहिले मोस्ट प्लेसेस अब बाटो पुग्नु पऱ्यो होइन पुग्छ पनि एन्ड आई थिङ्क फ्रम देयर देन अदर थिङ्स विल स्टार्ट अप होपफुली
म एउटा न्यारेटिभ भन्छु त्यसलाई चाहिँ ब्रेकडाउन गर्न हेल्प गर्नु नि त है जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल इन टर्म्स अफ कन्स्ट्रक्टिङ थिङ्स हुन्छ नि इन टर्म्स अफ मेकिङ थिङ्स फ्रम द स्क्रैच वी आर नो वेयर इन्डिया र चाइना कन्टेक्समा होइन आई थिङ्क एउटाले मलाई के भन्थ्यो भन्दाखेरि एउटा गफमा चाहिँ इभन चाइना र के अरे कुनै देशको वार भयो भने होइन तिनीहरू चाइना चाहिँ वार गर्दा गर्दै नयाँ इक्विपमेन्ट बनाउँदै त्यही इक्विपमेन्ट वार गर्छ होला अरूहरूको चाहिँ सकिन्छ होला भन्न खोजेको चाहिँ दे हेभ रियली फिगर इट आउट कसरी लो कस्टमा चाहिँ पुरा बनाउने सामान बनाउने भनेर होइन अनि आई थिङ्क इन्डिया इज डुइङ द सेम सो मेरो न्यारेटिभ चाहिँ मेरो दिमागमा न्यारेटिभ चाहिँ नेपालको कन्टेक्समा चाहिँ कन्स्ट्रक्सनहरू गर्नुभन्दा नेपालमै बनाउनु भन्दा बरु इम्पोर्टै गरेको सजिलो होला नि त किन भन्दाखेरि त्यो स्केलमा त हामीले इम्पोर्ट कन्स्ट्रक्सन गर्न सकिँदैन अनि प्लस कन्स्ट्रक्सन गर्नको लागि पनि त र मेटेरियल चाहिँ बाहिरबाट लिएर आउनुपर्छ होला सो अबको कन्टेक्समा चाहिँ इन्डस्ट्रियलाइजेसनले चाहिँ हामीलाई त्यो लिप अफ ग्रोथ दिन नसक्ने हो कि होइन कि मोर हामी चाहिँ डिजिटलाइजेसन होइन एआईहरूमा त्यतातिर फोकस गरेर त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ मोर लेभरेज लिन मिल्ने हो कि भन्ने न्यारेटिभलाई चाहिँ क्यान यु हेल्प it to look from a different perspective?
Yeah. See, what I mean is if you import, that's the low-hanging fruit. You know, you can just import it and do it, and obviously there's going to be a time lag. You know, that comes with problems of its own. But what we should do is think about the sustainability of the economy as well. हामीले जति यहीँ बनाउन सक्यो भने and start being more self-sufficient in what we make. Like I'll give you an example. Suppose you design a house that you find only available in Nepal. Just say you want to do rammed earth, you want to do, stuff that you get here. त्यो पनि सक्छ नि. So if you start making houses or whatever stuff like that, you can do. Steel will probably be made here at some point. Cement is pretty much made here, and you have a lot of it, होइन? So अब बिस्तारै आउँछ के. So अब aluminum आउँछ. So you'll have the other stuff that is going to come being made here. And I think the next step will be mining and and all of that industry has to grow. And
त्यो अनलक भयो भने चाहिँ आई थिङ्क सबभन्दा ठुलो अनलकिङ फ्याक्टर चाहिँ त्यो होला कि माइनिङ के र मेटेरियल चाहिँ
yeah, because mining also now we are again policy level we are a little stuck, right? And again capital, you need large capital to extract minerals. It's not that we don't have, we do have good reserves of many minerals, but again whether it is environmentally friendly to do it or not do it is another question. But I think if we really want to do it, we can. Right? So, like, I'll just give you for what I know, steel. Steel, when we make iron, okay, now iron, the technology is growing so fast ahead. अब हाम्रो कोइला छैन, we don't have good coal भनौँ न. Coal now, a lot of the iron industry that is coming up because decarbonization is the buzzword right now, right? Everybody's talking about decarbonization, having a very low carbon footprint, and we can do it because we already have a higher level of our input energy, which is the major cost. So a lot of the cranes, a lot of the electrification of all the cranes and all of this, so we can have green mining. It's not that we can't, but again, I'm no expert in saying that, but सकिन्छ, होइन? But miningमा गयो भने then we can start our own industry based out of that.
नै भने त जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल आजकल मैले कुनै पनि इन्डस्ट्रीलाई हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ कुन पर्सपेक्टिभबाट हेर्न सिकिरहेको छु भन्दाखेरि भ्याल्यु रिटेन इन इकोनोमी हुमा के होइन. जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पलले चाहिँ कुनै इन्डस्ट्रीले चाहिँ 1000 करोडको गरेर आएको छ अरे, त 1000 करोडमा चाहिँ 950 करोड चाहिँ इम्पोर्टै गरेर आएको छ र भ्याल्यु एडिसन चाहिँ 50 करोड मात्र भयो भने त त्यो इकोनोमीमा एडिसन त 50 करोड नै भयो.
Yeah. So we joke around and say this is all tax arbitrage.
Exactly.
So we're basically looking at the policy around the import and export and then trying to put something in there and then do some value addition that helps us with the tax arbitrage. But if you look more deeply inside, I mean, sustainable छ कि छैन त्यो हेर्नु पर्यो के. How long is it going to last? Will the policy last forever? And again, there's so much of things that have to align. And again, we have to think about the word sustainability is so important here. So again, when we talk about manpower, we see the last migration of people going abroad. अब हामीले मान्छे कसरी रिटेन गर्ने त यहाँ हो. So industry somewhere down the line has to engage with academia. एकाडेमियाबाट गरेर त्यसमा मान्छेहरू कसरी रिसाइकल गर्ने, कसरी ट्रेन गर्ने, ल्याउने. अब technology is there obviously, but we still need people ni. We still need human validation, we still need human endeavor त चाहिन्छ नि. So त्यसको लागि चाहिँ I think there has to be some kind of engagement, direct engagement with academia, and then that sustainability has to come at some point.
And I get your point. I think sustainable हुनु भनेको त I think
I'm not just saying it because it's a buzzword or anything. I'm just saying I really feel that.
And sustainable as in like just for example अरूमा डिपेन्डेन्ट नहुनु अहिलेको जमानामा त खतरा इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरा रहेछ नि त. बिकज when you look at things like Ukraine अहिले युएसमा जे भइरहेको छ.
Forget that. कोभिडमा के भयो? कोभिडमा के भयो? What happened during COVID? Everybody was trying to see what was made in Nepal.
एकदम
हो. So everybody started to recalibrate their thought process नि. हो क्या? सो के गर्यो भने नेपाली के छ कसो इन्टरनेटमा टाइम थियो, इन्टरनेटमा हेऱ्यो, सबजनाले हेऱ्यो यो नेपाली, यु अल्सो डिड, आई अल्सो डिड, होइन. जहाँ नेपाली प्रोडक्ट वाज मेड हियर वी ट्राई टु बाई द्याट. नाउ अगेन द्याट इज स्लाइटली अलिक डिभिएट गएर अब वाट इज चिपर, वाट मेक्स सेन्स जान्छ नि त, बिकज इट मेक्स इकोनोमिक सेन्स. बट टुमोरो इफ यु क्यान मेक द सेम थिङ at the same cost or if not cheaper and the same specification or the same quality, why not? is what I think.
तर यो नोसन नि दाइ जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल ग्लोबल वर्ल्डमा चाहिँ प्रड्युस वाट नो वान एल्स क्यान प्रड्युस इम्पोर्ट वाट अदर्स क्यान इजिली प्रड्युस भन्ने एउटा जुन नोसन छ
Come again? Sorry.
जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल प्रड्युस वाट नो वान एल्स क्यान प्रड्युस जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल इन्स्टेड अफ वी ट्राइङ टु प्रड्युस एभ्रिथिङ हियर इफ वी क्यान प्रड्युस थिङ्स द्याट इन्डिया एन्ड चाइना क्यान नट प्रड्युस एन्ड देन एक्सपोर्ट दिज थिङ्स टु देम एन्ड इम्पोर्ट वाट
Okay, I'll break down into two.
ल
I know. So when the internet became first in the early 2000s, when it was pretty starting to become a big thing, and this whole notion of globalization, and we are one big global village, and all that thing started up. Now, after COVID, everything has become regionalization. You know, what you can do in your own region, and do it basically a smaller footprint, and make it there locally. Because now it's become a worldwide phenomenon, just the basic. You know, you don't want to transport it large distances because the variables become obnoxiously different, you know, across, because the dollar value changes, everything changes, and yeah. So the other thing that that I wanted to say about your make it here. So Nepal, we can make things here. Like I said, our market size is small. So here, what we can do is low volume, high value.
niche
Little niche, but you know, suppose say in steel, if I can make steel here and make a higher grade steel which has more value, and that has acceptability in India, so then I have my market. You know, so I can afford to be a lower volume player. Vijayana. So there are a lot of things that you can look into. Sorry.
100% होइन मैले प्रश्न गर्दै गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मेरो ब्याकमा चाहिँ होइन सस्टेनेबल कन्टेक्समा त सकेसम्म आफू इन्डिपेन्डेन्ट कसैमा डिपेन्ड भएन भने त्यो जस्तो दामी स्टेज त केही पनि होइन यु हेभ अ मोर बार्गेनिङ पावर इन अलमोस्ट एभ्रिथिङ इफ आर नट डिपेन्डेन्ट अन समन एल्स होइन 100%.
No, moreover is that the country only gets the benefit. After the chai. So what happens is that the money that is made here, is not going out of the country. So our energy, the border is so we're talking about, in the next, how many years we're going to make 10,000 megawatt. We're going to make, so more bigger industries can come in. Instead of exporting the electricity, we can use it here and export the product. So then it becomes more valuable. So त्यो हुनु बेर छैन.
अनि हजुर जस्तो इन्डस्ट्रिजलाई त सबभन्दा एक्साइटिङ कुरा नै इलेक्ट्रिसिटी होला एक किसिमले हेर्ने हो भने चाहिँ किन पावर इज चिप, पावर इज मोर रिन्युएबल.
Not cheap, not so cheap. What I'm saying is we have the electricity,
बेटर क्वालिटी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी,
not maybe better quality, but it's renewable.
बेटर लेबल्ड.
Better label. So the heading has changed. Now, in the world, say Europe, they're putting up huge barriers. So it's called CBAM before they put the carbon tax. So they're going to check out for 2 years. It's called the CBAM. So it's the Carbon Border Mechanism Adjustment. So sorry, did I say it wrong? CBAM is Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism. Okay. So CBAM, they're going to try. And so they're going to, I think for 3-4 products, steel is one of them. So they're going to try and, have a barrier for that. So if you don't come under, certain, carbon footprint guidelines, you'll be taxed a certain amount. And then that creates a barrier for that. Maybe Nepal will not be able to.
Exactly.
Will not be able to, will not be under that tax label. So then we have a small access to something. So these things are happening slowly, and it's a hope, and there's a thing that might happen, but then again there are these naysayers who say कहाँ हुन्छ हुँदैन.
तर जति कन्ज्युमरको अवेरनेस बढ्दै गयो भोलिको दिनमा आई वान्ट टु मेक माई हाउस विथ स्टिल्स मेड विथ रिन्युएबल एनर्जी भनेर
त्यो हुँदैन. See, for a customer, for any customer buying, they have no idea. See, the market does not know this one, who made it, कसले बनाएको, which cultural background this fellow belongs to. त्यो मार्केटलाई त त्यो केही थाहा छैन नि. So it has to be fitting that person's
day in and day out need,
need. So if I'm able to make the same product at the price that is wanted, and it's made here locally, and there is some awareness around that, then I think we won.
What are you most excited about when it comes to Hama Steels?
The future, basically. I know the the present is quite painful. It is painful, but
I like हजुर हाँसी हाँसी it's quite painful भन्दा
yeah, we all have to go through this pain. I can't tell you how to do it, but we all have to
Then
just
this one,
yeah,
okay.
we have to get through this, and and hopefully we all of
How
us.
how painful, if I can go deeper? How painful?
Oh man, it's deep, man. It's deep enough for you to take a retreat once in a while.
And this is not just like you coming from a steel background. This is for every other industrialist.
I think so.
It's a very painful point of
Yeah,
time.
there are small pockets here and there who are enjoying certain things, but yes, for pretty much the population or the who are going through this, it the last 3 years has really struck a blow to everybody.
Do you ever think of giving up?
Yeah, yeah.
How do
then-
you how do you
No, but then
how do you not give up? The media question. How do you bring back yourself into a के भन्छ bring back into your to positive the hope के
I don't know. I just we guys have been around for a long time. You can't just get up and go. होइन त्यो त गर्नु त मिलेन तर कस्तो छ भन्दाखेरि you look at what's happening in the world and and we haven't started anything. नेपालमा त के सुरु गरेछ हामीले? Tell me. हामीले we haven't made anything substantial अहिले. So in any low in any rising economy, the backbone has been steel, cement, and all of that. And हाम्रो त we're just getting started. So I get that hope saying अब त हाम्रो त पुरा बाँकी नै छ नि. We have that whole journey is still left, and then it's been 25 years and I feel like I'm just getting started.
अनि ऊ डर लाग्दैन by the time it gets started I'll be too old हुन्छ नि लाइक त्यो लाइक हाउ होपफुल आर यु कि यो 2-3 वर्ष 1.5 वर्षमै द रिदम विल स्टार्ट टेकिङ इट्स के भन्छ वर्डै भन्न आएन मैले भन्न खोजेको चाहिँ यो इट हेज नट इभन गट स्टार्टेड भन्नु हो नि होइन कति टाइम लाग्छ होला यो स्टार्ट हुन हुन्छ नि मेबी म कुर्दा कुर्दा बुढो हुने हो कि त्यस्तो
I don't know that certain things you don't know. You don't know. It's all a matter of timing, I suppose. But we have to hope that it will change. And
अनि ऊ कस्तो अजिब फिल हुने क्या जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल एज अ अन्टरप्रेनर माइसेल्फ हुन्छ नि मिड 30sमा काम गरिराख्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो गाह्रो त हामीलाई छ नि होइन टाइपको फिल हुने एन्ड यु सी इन्डस्ट्रियलिस्ट अलरेडी अन द्याट फेज डुइङ बिग डिल्स हुन्छ नि एन्ड देन हजुर त भाइ इट्स डिपर गाह्रो छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो हुन्छ नि बुझ्नु मैले भन्न खोजेको किनभने हजुरलाई हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ यु गाइज अलरेडी मेड इट ह्यापन यु गाइज
no, but what you see, lot of the people they see people who are in industry and and doing the high volume trading and all of that. They see the lifestyle, they see the traveling, they see all of that, and that's a part of it. That's not everything. So what people go through, like I said, your journey is a entrepreneur journey is a very lonely journey. In all of that multiple no's, you have to find that quiet little yes and then just hang on to that, and then and then obviously move on with educating yourself. You have to educate yourself properly. You have to outschool everybody else.
And the constant self talk के हुन्छ नि त्यो पोजिटिभ सेल्फ टक एन्ड बिट्विन द इज अ नेगेटिभ सेल्फ टक फेरि अगेन पोजिटिभ सेल्फ टक होइन
Yeah, that's there.
त्यही अहिलेकै नोसनमा होइन दाइ जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल यो ड्याड स्टार्टेड हामा होइन अनि एउटा सोसाइटीको लेन्सबाट हेर्ने हो भने चाहिँ सोसाइटी वुड कन्सिडर यु मोर प्रिभिलेज गाई हु गट थिङ्स अन हिज ह्यान्ड हुन्छ नि
Absolutely.
होइन अनि तर फेरि हजुरसँग अफ द रेकर्ड बसेर कुरा गर्दाखेरि गफ गर्दाखेरि आई क्यान सेन्स द्याट पेन इन यर आइज हुन्छ नि द थिङ्स हुन्छ नि होइन त्यो कन्टेक्समा चाहिँ यो नोसनलाई चाहिँ हजुरले कसरी हेर्नुहुन्छ think like as if like things were handed to you, it should have been much easier than starting
See,
from the
work is
scratch.
work. Work is work. I know. Whether you are privileged or not, you got to work. And don't think that if you're privileged, you don't have to work and you have like 10 different guys working for you. You know? If you have that, then I don't know. You know? But there are very few people who've made it happen without working. I know. And when I mean work, I don't mean like, just pure manual work. I mean work that you put in terms of ideas and execution and all the stuff that comes in between. So there is a this man. So privileged or not. So I think again is you have to be willing to go down to the nitty gritties of things and teach yourself and relearn and unlearn and again go and educate yourself. There's a new thing coming up, adoption. So you have to put effort, you have to work, and I think it's true for anybody, whether you're privileged or not. Obviously, the guy who's not privileged, has a little harder time to get access to things, and I think that is being pretty much democratized. So a guy in Hungary can have the same access to the same type of information as somebody in Denver. So I mean, what I'm trying to say is,
100%.
yeah. So the information, it was locked up within a certain family, or so they could only do, and it was, and it was just based around that circle of influence, right? Especially now, it's slowly coming out, and then even big brands are getting challenged by small little guys who are coming out of nowhere and doing things. So again, it's if you think you're some people who have too much are at a disadvantage now. I know. So it's hunger. No, it's you have to have that inner hunger in you to do more or less or however you want to do it.
त्यही कुरालाई फ्लिप गरेर हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ कहिले काहीँ हुन्छ नि अब जस्तो फर इक्जाम्पल भने आई गेट फ्रस्ट्रेटेड हुन्छ नि फ्रस्ट्रेटेड विथ एभ्रिथिङ द्याट आई डु अनि आई फिल लाइक ल म आई क्लोज डाउन एभ्री फकिङ थिङ द्याट आई बिल्ट हुन्छ नि एन्ड आई स्टार्ट फ्रम द स्क्रच समवेयर एल्स भन्ने टाइपको
But you're young, no. So what when you ask me when you're 35, 24, whatever, right? So that gives you the time, because when you're young, 24, 25, you don't have that much responsibility, or or that much of things that you will acquire later. So when you're younger, it's a time to just try everything. And you what do you lose? The shirt on your back. Just kidding. But what I'm saying is, you got a lot less to lose. And then so that willingness to put in the work. So let me give you an example. I started off as soon as I finished college. I started off. How old was I? 23, 24. So we started. I started off my
1997, 1993.
99. So I started off then, and it was a different scenario then, right? I'll give you an example. I went to look for a book, and the internet was, very expensive. It was 6 rupees a minute. This dial-up network, all of that. So 6 rupees, I remember, it was 6 rupees a minute, and it was painful too, and it was so slow. So you had to look for information. It was so difficult. So when I was that age, you just had to travel. I wanted to know something, I had to go see something. So I still have that in me. If I want to see something, I just catch a flight, go see. There's a difference between reading it and actually going and seeing it, or going to actual where it's happening. So learn from whatever the situation or the factory or whatever it is. So learning by seeing and doing is something that I still try and do. Obviously now you have so much of information, so much of things on YouTube. I think you can teach yourself anything in 60 days. So a lot of it has changed, and it's a good change. It's not like it's something that is bad. But what I'm saying is, to answer your question, is frustration is part of it.
अनि अन टप अफ द्याट मैले सोध्न खोजेको चाहिँ जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल इफ आई क्लोज डाउन एभ्रिथिङ द्याट आई बिल्ड टुडे होइन आई माइट जस्ट से कि आई ट्राइड इट आई स्टार्टेड इट आई कुड नट मेक इट आई क्लोज डाउन भन्न पाएँ होइन त त्यो प्रिभिलेज त हससँग छैन नि त बिकज
Yeah, but we keep trying to do.
मैले भन्न खोजेको
Yeah,
चाहिँ
I get you. So what happens is that
जेनेरेसनल बिजनेस यु क्यान जस्ट सट इट डाउन हुन्छ नि इट वाज गिभन टु यु टु रन नट टु के भन्छ नट टु टेक इन टु अ बस्ट नि त होइन मतलब
yeah, but the thing is that you have to that graph has to grow.
Exactly.
So that's the whole thing. So how do you grow that that curve? But obviously there's so many factors that
प्रेसर के झन् धेरै होला भन्नु चाहिँ किन द ग्राफ हेज
yes,
टु
it
ग्रो
is
भन्ने
there.
कन्टेक्समा चाहिँ द ग्राफ हेज टु ग्रो अभियसली
yeah,
होइन
yeah.
बिकज इट हेज अलरेडी टेकन समथिङ एन्ड इट हेज टु गो ब्रिगर
Yeah.
त्यो कन्टेक्समा चाहिँ प्रेसरको कन्टेक्समा कुरा गर्न खोजेको
No, it's there. It's there. It is there. It's not that it's not there. The cost someone that is also at the same time is trying to do something that will make a change in that industry, right? I know right now, the steel is steel industry, the cement industry has changed a lot from what it was. It was all manual, everything was there. So now ILA is getting more into automation. Now we'll go one more step, then one more step ahead. So Bistari happens in the whole spectrum of time slowly.
अनि नेपाल एज अ कम्युनिटी चाहिँ त्यस्तो जेनरलाइज त गर्न खोजेन तर जस्ट टु गाइज टकिङ होइन वी कुड बी रङ
Absolutely. We could be totally wrong. No, this again, like I said, it's just views coming out of my head at this point.
वी डु नट रिप्रेजेन्ट आवर इन्स्टिट्युसन वी जस्ट रिप्रेजेन्ट अस एज अ
Yeah. So, but if you look at the landscape of entrepreneurs coming out right now, and you look at different spaces where people are mixing things with entrepreneurship and getting a more entrepreneurial, because Ambrose, again, I might be wrong. I always feel that we have been in a collective more an enterprising society.
डु यु थिङ्क सो
Yeah, at least because I'm पहिला त government job seeking was a little bit lower. Now it's becoming more. पहिला त everybody wanted to do business and wanted to become more entrepreneur. This is again my thought process. And now today, if you see, because of digital media, social, the social graph, all of this included, to get anything out is a lot more simpler, right? And if you see young guys coming up in the music space, brilliant. If you see guys doing the sports space, they're doing awesome. If you're seeing these young guys coming out with some crazy products coming up slowly, so
एन्ड देयर सो मेनी थिङ्स टु बी पोजिटिभ अबाउट
yeah.
मैले सोध्न खोजेको क्वेसन चाहिँ डु यु फिल कि नेपालमा चाहिँ द जेनरल नोसन टुवर्ड्स बिजनेस फ्यामिलीज अनि अलिकति पिपल हु हेभ मेड इट इज अ बिट नेगेटिभ हुन्छ नि जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल जसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अलिकति अन्टरप्रिनर्सहरू अरू के अरे सक्सेसफुल पिपल आर अ बिट हेजिटेन्ट टु कम आउटसाइड इन द मिडिया बिकज नेपालमा चाहिँ सम्पत्ति धनलाई चाहिँ अलिकति नेगेटिभ तरिकाले देखिएको छ पैसा कमाउन साथ के फटै गरेर कमाएको वाला भन्ने नोसन चाहिँ मोर अलिकति उच्च जस्तो लाग्छ हजुरलाई
I won't lie, it's there. होइन तर कस्तो छ भन्दाखेरि I think again let's take India. India had also gone through that. And now people are showing off their wealth, and they're not really ashamed about it, and they're investing and they're doing things, and they're bringing people up as well. About yes, obviously there's a negative tone to how you became wealthy, but I think we have to demonstrate that it's not so.
हजुरको सोल्युसन चाहिँ के हो जस्तो लाग्छ यो एटिट्युडलाई किन भन्दाखेरि यो एटिट्युडले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ सायद वी आर लुजिङ टु मच अफ आवर टाइम इन्टु बिलिटलिङ इन्टु मोर स्केप्टिसिजम देन एक्चुली डुइङ
I think it's
अनि लेट मी कोट अ फेमस कोट बाई ग्यारी होइन इफ यु आर बिल्डिङ द बिगेस्ट बिल्डिङ इन अ टाउन यु बिल्ड बाई बिल्डिङ युर्स नट बाई ब्रिङिङ समन एल्स नि त होइन अनि कति त्यो स्केप्टिसिजम त्यो नेगेटिभ टुवर्ड्स वेल्थ एन्ड रिच पिपलले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ आर वी इन्भेस्टिङ अ लट अफ आवर टाइम इन्टु ब्रिङिङ समबडी डाउन देन एक्चुली ग्रोइङ अप हायर
it is there. It's there everywhere. होइन so
यु थिङ्क इट्स एभ्रिवेयर
it's
जस्ट
everywhere.
नट नेपाल
It's not just Nepal. Everywhere, sir. होइन so um, pushing politics to hide your inefficiencies is always there. होइन so if you're not good enough, or if you want more, then you push politics to have that unfair advantage, right? So it is there, and it's going to happen. And people call it in different names. There's different names for that. Some people call it lobbying. People call it institutional corruption, whatever. So all of this exists everywhere in the world. Right? It's just that we keep it under different headings, and our focus lies pretty much there.
सो हजुरले यसलाई एउटा सल्युसन पर्सपेक्टिभबाट हेर्ने हो भने चाहिँ अब यो अनु दिस इज नेचुरल, दिस विल कम एन्ड गो अन इट्स ओन.
You have to take it as it is, I think. And I think my stance would be is, I have to just keep working and demonstrate that I can do this, and I have to have that belief within me that म गर्नु सक्छु है भनेर. ल ठिकै छ, ल भयो जे भयो तर गर्छु म भनेर त देखाउनु त पऱ्यो नि होइन. So I at least have that thing that if I can't, it's okay, but I will try.
हजुरसँग भेट्दाखेरि चाहिँ होइन मेरो एउटा इम्प्रेसन चाहिँ कस्तो भएको छ भन्दाखेरि हजुरको बारेमा चाहिँ हजुरसँग जेको बारेमा कुरा गरे पनि वी क्यान टक होइन. म जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल आई फाइन्ड यु भेरी पोलिम्याथ के हुन्छ नि, यु हेभ पोलिम्याथ भनेको चाहिँ समबडी हु हेज आइडियाज अबाउट लट अफ थिङ्स होइन. अनि तर हजुरसँग कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हजुरलाई कति धेरै कुराहरू थाहा छ, तर एट द एन्ड अफ द डे यु आर सो इनसाइड लुकिङ टाइपको कि यु नो सो मच अबाउट हुन्छ नि आफ्नो बारेमा, आफूले कसरी गर्ने, आफ्नो एटिट्युड, आफ्नो अप्रोच, आफ्नो फर्मुला, आफ्नो माइन्डसेट होइन. अनि खासै बाहिरको कुरामा चाहिँ धेरै बदर बाल छैन वाला, म आफ्नै कुरा इम्प्रुभ गर्छु भने अघि पनि भर्खर वाट आई नो इज आई विल वर्क, आई विल मेक इट ह्यापन वाला कुरामा चाहिँ यो
See, sorry to cut you short, but what I believe is if you concentrate on yourself and improve and concentrate on improving yourself and spend more time doing that, I think we'll all be better for it. I know. So I think also I do practice yoga, so it's a more inward looking thing. So you have to think about making that change within you gradually, and what you do at the end you have to just hope and pray that all that everything will connect somehow, but you just do it irrespective.
Hey, what do you think about अहिलेको हाम्रो नयाँ युथ होइन. अब यो हुन्छ नि, अब आई थिङ्क यो त एभ्री डे अराउन्ड 3,000 पिपल आर फ्लाइङ अब्रड होइन. अनि फेरि त्यहाँ दुई किसिमको कम्युनिकेसन छ, जान दिनुपर्छ या जान दिनु हुँदैन. फेरि एउटा कस्तो छ भन्दा फेरि पुल फ्याक्टर स्ट्रङ हुनु पऱ्यो नि त युथलाई होल्ड गर्नको लागि भन्ने कुरा छ. त्यसपछि फेरि एउटा आर्टिफिसियली क्रिएटेड एउटा टक्सिसिटी छ कि नेपाली चाहिँ फेल स्टेट, यहाँ केही पनि हुन सक्दैन, प्रब्लम छ होइन. फेरि अर्को एउटा नेगेटिभ के छ, अन्टरप्रेनर्स भनेकै प्रब्लम्समा उदाउने त हो. सो मेनी बिजनेस अपर्च्युनिटिज भन्ने छ. फेरि स्केलिङको प्रब्लम छ. अनि आई थिङ्क काइन्ड अफ अलिक फ्रस्ट्रेटेड स्टेटमा छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ हाम्रो युथ होइन.
Definitely.
हजुरले चाहिँ कसरी रिड गरेर राख्नु भएको छ, बिकज यु इम्प्लोय पिपल होइन. अनि
Yeah. So यस्तो छ, this again, the way I see it is obviously there's a choice now. पहिला थिएन होइन. अब सक्नेले they're going out and studying होइन, नसक्नेले they're trying to go out and work, but there's an option, so they're taking it होइन. So they don't want to यहाँ त त्यति to struggle and to endure the bureaucracy, घुम्ने, so all of that is there. So they'd rather त्यो अप्सनमा they're taking the quicker option होइन. So for them might be better, I don't know, but it is there, and so a lot of people are taking it now. Total environment change हुनलाई त टाइम लाग्छ होइन. So there's a lot of things that need to be done, and I'm not expert in political science and what have you. तर it has to change. र again, the closest thing I have to see is India भनौँ न. इन्डियामा पनि त this was happening, this was happening in a larger scale, but a lot of the people are coming back now, and India is a larger economy आइरहेछ. So hopefully हाम्रो पनि त्यस्तो होला कि. I'll give you another example. It's a good example, by the way. So हाम्रो एउटा वेल्डिङको एउटा इस्यु थियो क्या. So I had to weld a piece of pipe for hydraulics, and that was such a small job होइन. अनि इन्डियाबाट त्यो वेल्डिङ गर्नलाई नेपालमा अब पाएन. अनि त्यो मान्छे पाएन. अनि त्यो वेल्डिङ गर्नलाई यु निड अ स्पेसल टाइप अफ वेल्डिङ. सो इट्स अ भेरी हाई प्रेसर, अल अफ द्याट. त्यसपछि आएर द गाइज अब आउनु मानेन, किनभने इट वाज टु स्मल अ जब फर देम. अब के गर्ने भन्दाखेरि वी पुट आउट अ एड अन द पेपर. त्यति बेला
कति पुरानो कुरा हो?
I can't put a timeline to it, but it was early 2010s wala, 2011 12 wala. So we put out an ad, and then a group of guys from Saudi who worked in Saudi in the gas lines, they came up. They answered the call and they came, and they were very good. यति राम्रो प्रोफेसनली गरे यिनीहरूले. So then that was like quite an eye opener, saying that यिनीहरू बाहिर गएर मजाले ट्रेन गरेर पनि आउनु सक्ने रहेछ नि त होइन. So and then there will be scope भोलि, because industries and all will भोलि त अलिकति मेच्योर पनि हुन्छ, स्केल पनि ठुलो होला. So you can see the amount of factories that are coming up also, assembly lines are आइरहेछ, tile factories are coming up. So even in the food space, slowly all this any. So again, that needs a lot of engineering, a lot of people to work, a lot of engineers needed. So if you see the tech space, that is also going booming, so all of that put together, again the dots might connect, and and hopefully there might be some people coming back with more experience, and more seriousness to their job.
तर हजुरलाई लाग्छ यो अहिलेको जे पनि प्रब्लम भनिएको छ, यो प्रब्लम्सहरू आर्टिफिसियली क्रिएटेड प्रब्लम्स हो, यो दिज आर आर्टिफिसियल प्रब्लम्स कि नेपाली चाहिँ फेल स्टेट, नेपालमा केही पनि हुँदैन, जुन टक्सिसिटी छ नि, व्हाट डु यु थिङ्क?
Well, it is there. It is there.
Is it artificially created कि it is there?
There's a lot of conversations around it, and then people are trying to avoid it and move out. So अब कतिजनाले पनि ट्राई गर्छ. So just the fact that you go and do something in a government agency or government, तपाईँको सरकारी अफिसमा गएर केही गर्नु छ भने त गाह्रो छ नि होइन. So until all of this really starts to streamline, and I think technology is going to be the biggest changer in all of this. So I don't know, as things becomes more seamless, less confrontational, so all of this will happen. And even in marketing, when you sell your product, you see quick commerce now going to happen. You see the e-commerce happening. The less the friction, the better for you, right? Order garyo, I don't want to deal with somebody, and त्यसपछि आएर लिन्छ नि. So something similar to that maybe could happen in bureaucracy as well, and it's happening elsewhere. Again, it's something that is left to happen.
अनि अर्को एउटा क्वेसन, ल मेरो एउटा नेरेटिभ छ कि दाइ, मलाई कस्तो मैले बिल्ड गरेको नेरेटिभ चाहिँ के हो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ, आई थिङ्क नेपालको एउटा प्रब्लम चाहिँ के हो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ, नेपालमा चाहिँ एस्पिरेसन्स धेरै क्रिएट गर्न सकेको छैन जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई. बाई एस्पिरेसन मैले भन्नु खोजेको, जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल आजकै कन्टेक्स्टलाई इक्जाम्पल लिने हो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ, आई डिन्ट न्यू समन लाइक यु एक्जिस्टेड होइन. नाउ आई डोन्ट निड टु नो अल द अमेजिङ पिपल हु एक्जिस्ट. तर मैले भन्नु खोजेको, राजन दाई जस्तो मान्छे एक्जिस्ट गर्छ भनेर यसो इन्टरनेटमा खोज्यो भने पनि धेरै कन्टेन्ट छैन होइन. प्रायली दिस इज द फर्स्ट यसरी पब्लिकली हजुर बोलेको फर्स्ट टाइम होला होइन. अनि मलाई कस्तो लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ, बिकज एउटा इन्डस्ट्रियल इन्जिनियरिङ गरेर आएको भाइ या बहिनीलाई राजन दाई जस्तो मान्छे छ भनेर थाहा छैन. द्याट सो ही अर सी विल नेभर थिङ्क अफ वर्किङ फर यु, अन्डर यु, विथ यु, बिकज यस्तो मान्छे त नेपालमा एक्जिस्टै गर्दैन. सो बाहिरै जानु पऱ्यो होइन. अनि त्यो चाहिँ नेपालमा चाहिँ जसले गरिरहेको छ नि, जस्तै सबै पेन हुँदा पनि गरिरहेको हुँदैन, युआर सोइङ अप एभ्री डे नि त होइन. त्यो लेयर अफ पिपुल चाहिँ कति स्पटलाइटबाट मिसिङ छ जस्तो लाग्छ क्या मलाई. दे आर वर्किङ डे इन एन्ड डे आउट. हुन त उनीहरूलाई चाहिएको पनि छैन त्यो स्पटलाइट होइन, बिकज दे आर बिजी डुइङ देयर ओन थिङ. तर तल्लोपट्टिको जेनेरेसनलाई चाहिँ यसले हार्म गरेर आएको छ, बिकज दे डोन्ट नो दिस पिपल लाइक दिस एक्जिस्ट. सो द्याट हामी जस्तो मान्छेको लागि स्पेस छ भन्ने कुरा थाहा भएन कि होइन. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि पनि त्यो रिलेटिभिटी भएन होइन. वेन आई टक टु यु होइन, यो अलमोस्ट 48, आई फिल लाइक आइ एम टकिङ टु समबडी अफ माई एज कि मलाई त्यो मेबी द काइन्ड अफ कन्टेन्ट वी कन्ज्युम हुन्छ नि, द थिङ्स द्याट इन्सपायर अस, एक्साइट अस आर अन अ सिमिलर पेरिफेरी. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ when I see someone like you, I feel like there is a space for someone like me, because someone like me is doing something bigger and better, and maybe I can do that too भन्ने वाला हुन्छ नि त को अन्टरप्रेनर इनर्जी के. when you see someone else doing it, you want to do it too वाला टाइपको चाहिँ देखेरै देखा सिकिने त हुने हो नि होइन. अनि त्यो माथिको एउटा लेयरै इन्भिजिबल छ जस्तो लाग्छ कि मलाई चाहिँ नेपालमा. अनि मेबी द्याट इज अल्सो वान प्रब्लम वेआर नट बिङ एबल टु मेक आवर न्यू जेनेरेसन रिलेटेबल कि सबभन्दा खतरा खतरा मान्छेहरू बसेर काम गरेर आएको छ हुन्छ नि कमन गेट अप स्टार्ट बिल्डिङ थिङ्स जस्तो लाग्छ अनि सो यो सन्दर्भ मैले सेटअप किन गरेको भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ आई वान्ट टु आस्क यु क्वेसन कि वाइ पिपुल लाइक राजन दाई इज नट आउटसाइड हुन्छ नि इज इनसाइड हुन्छ नि मतलब भित्र बसेर काम गरेर राख्नु भएको छ अनि किन टाइम लाग्यो त यति धेरै बाहिर आएर भन्नको लागि ल आई एक्जिस्ट है
Yeah, no, म पर्सनली भन्छु आई डोन्ट नो फर द अदर्स अब टु बी अनेस्ट विथ यु होइन आई अल्सो फिल लाइक म आई हेभन्ट मेड इट लाइक आई सेड आई जस्ट फिल लाइक आई एम जस्ट स्टार्टिङ अफ इट टुक अ लङ टाइम आई यु नो ट्राइङ टु एस्टाब्लिस माइ सेल्फ स्टिल र आई लट अफ पिपल लाइक मी आई होला फिल लाइक मेबी राइट टाइम नहोला कि एन्ड अल्सो नेपालमा पनि आई थिङ्क हाम्रो लोकल रोल मोडलिङ इज पुरै लो क्या होइन अब maybe things will change but to look up to somebody for aspiration for genuine aspiration अलिक कम छ कि होइन so I don't know there's a lot of I don't knows in this question but hopefully you know we can have few people who will come out slowly you know their stories are you know highlighted more and I think also नेपालमा एउटा के राम्रो पनि छ भन्दाखेरि फेलियर गरे पनि इट्स ओके आई मिन शिक्षा पायो भन्छ नि त आई लर्न समथिङ हामी त वी आर प्रिटी फर्गिभिङ सोसाइटी जस्तो लाग्छ होइन मेबी मोर विल कम आउट एन्ड विल से ओके लिसन आइरहेको छ स्लोली बट इट्स टेकिङ टाइम
मलाई अस्ति हामी हजुरलाई भेट्दाखेरि कि होइन आई केम टु यु बिकज आई वान्टेड टु नो मोर अबाउट यु बिकज आई वान्टेड टु एक्सट्र्याक्ट एज मच अफ इन्फर्मेसन नलेज द्याट यु हेभ यो हाम्रो पडकास्टमा होइन अनि देन वेन आई वाज रिफ्लेक्टिङ ब्याक हजुरसँग फर्केर सोद्धाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो दिन आई वाज डिस्टर्ब विथ फ्यु अफ द थिङ्स हामी भेट्यौँ गफ गर्न थाल्यौँ त्यसपछि कन्भर्सेसन यस्तो अर्ग्यानिक हुन थाल्यो कि आई स्टार्टेड एक्सप्रेसिङ माई कन्सर्न्सहरू होइन अनि हजुरसँग गफ गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ इट वाज अ बिट थेरापेटिक टु मी कि बिकज आई गट फ्यु अफ माई एन्सर्स होइन अनि मलाई चाहिँ के फिल भयो भन्दाखेरि मेबी त्यो किन भयो भन्दाखेरि 34-year-old गाई इज टकिङ विथ अ 48-year-old गाई जहाँ चाहिँ एज धेरै फरक छैन एसपिरेसन सिमिलर छ होला कन्टेन्ट हामीले कन्ज्युम गर्ने सिमिलर छ होला होइन अनि हुन्छ जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल मैले के फिल गरेँ भन्दाखेरि मेबी पिपल अफ माई एज इफ दे क्यान फाइन्ड पिपल लाइक यु हुन्छ नि जो चाहिँ धेरै उमेरमा फरक छैन एन्ड देन मोर रियालिटी चेक मोर रियलिस्टिक सजेसन मोर रियलिस्टिक मेन्टरसिप भयो भने क्या बवाल हुन्छ होला होइन सो मेबी हामीले चाहिँ एज 34-35 year-old गाई आई क्यान मेन्टर 24-25-year-old के अरे गर्ल्स एन्ड गाइज होइन अनि
एब्सोल्युटली
इट्स जस्ट लाइक आफूभन्दा तलकोलाई हेरिदिने त हो नि होइन
एब्सोल्युटली
अनि त्यो कन्टेक्समा चाहिँ अघिकै कुरा जोड्छु होइन मेबी यो लेयर मिसिङ भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ यो 40-45-50को खतरा मान्छेहरू चाहिँ मिसिङ भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि यो 30-35को मान्छेहरूलाई चाहिँ त्यो नियरेस्ट लो ह्याङ्गिङ फ्रुट्सबाट सजेसन इन्सपिरेसन मेन्टरसिप पाउन ऊ भइरहेको छ जस्तो लाग्छ कि मलाई होइन नाउ आइएम नट पुटिङ इट एज अ क्वेसन एउटा कन्भर्सेसन एउटा सन्दर्भ सेटअप गरायो होइन त्यस्तो चाहिँ मलाई फिल भयो किन भन्दाखेरि आई हेभ मेन्टर्स होइन आई हेभ मेन्टर्स अफ 65 लर्न अमेजिङ थिङ्स होइन तर कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ आफूभन्दा अलिकति धेरै होइन अलिकति थोरै सिनियर दाइ दिदीहरूसँग कुरा गर्न पाउँदा सजेसन पाउँदाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो पनि अमेजिङ हेल्पफुल के
एब्सोल्युटली सो मेबी कस्तो छ भने पिपल देयर इज अ लिटल फियर अलिकति फियर छ नि त किनभने हामी संवादभन्दा विवादमा बढी टाइम बिताउँछ नि त सो वी डोन्ट एन्गेज संवाद होइन टु एक्चुली यु नो टक अबाउट things that matter to you little bit होइन so we are always trying to have a debate अब जति पनि टिभी प्रोग्रामहरू इज मोर अबाउट साउटिङ म्याचेस होइन त्यो हु क्यान ह्याभ द लाउडेस्ट भोइस विन्स नि होइन त्यो देन द्याट कल्चर इज क्वाइट प्रेभलेन्ट त्यो इन्गेज गर्ने कि नगर्ने भन्ने एउटा क्वेसन आयो होइन सो पिपल डोन्ट वान्ट टु वेस्ट टाइम दिस अगेन माई थट प्रोसेस सो त्यो इन्गेज गर्ने कि नगर्ने इज अ क्वेसन But if we have a good environment, which is just dwelling on learning from somebody, there are places. I'm not saying there aren't. There are a lot of places that help this process of learning from somebody a little elder to you. You can learn from somebody younger than you also. There's no divide. It's all on experience. You can live your life in 1 year more than somebody who's done 25, right? So. It's again, it's a lot of the mindset in which people want to learn and aspire from somebody. again, it's it'll come slowly because it has to happen, because then role modeling also okay. So somebody who's done and done fairly well will have to pass on that culture and knowledge slowly. Because I'll give you another example is हामी पहिला गर्थ्यौँ, we used to have festivals, traditional festivals. So हामीले पहिला सिनियरलाई सोद्धाखेरि वा बुवाहरूलाई सोद्धाखेरि यो किन गरेको भन्दाखेरि दे हेभ नो आइडिया, इट इज डन बिकज इट्स डन होइन. And moreover things are all explained to you because it's done, because it's done. It's always been done this way. There's no explanation नि भनेछ कसले ए यो गरे है because this is the reason, यो this is the way it is done होइन. And so our culture is again based on so much of our past also, no. Your behavioral जुन हाम्रो so it's not just happened overnight, it's happened through a stretch of time. So now today more so there's more of debate and boss हुन्छ नि boss गर्नुपर्ने. So we're just debating on the sake of debating होइन. And then there's so much of stuff that goes on which maybe people want to participate and most people not. So that's what maybe you don't find many people. I don't know. This is
you're making me thinking. More विवाद भन्दा संवाद गर्ने प्लेटफर्म बनाउनु पर्यो.
exactly
होइन, so
so
people
how
will participate.
I think that clarity has to be there, because once you have that clarity and that you're going to come and contribute in the discussion, and you are going to contribute in somebody's learning, and you are going to go and contribute something that is of use to somebody else.
Because everybody like contributing to that.
Absolutely. So you would like to. But if you are in a conversation where it's just going to be, my voice is bigger than yours, and I said this, and all that is waste of time for me, at least.
I got my answer. The arco side of you, which is I think which is very inspiring, which is the adventurous side of you.
Oh yeah. So business is also one of them. is a big adventure.
Which
and then
is more
it's,
adventurous.
Yeah. So especially right now, it's a massive adventure. You're getting massive adrenaline, adrenaline, and
So यो मलाई हजुरले भनेको एउटा कुरा के याद छ भन्दा मुखमा बसेर कफी खाँदाखेरि चाहिँ अनुप त्यो माउन्टेन्स छ नि, त्यो माउन्टेन्स मैले पहिला चाहिँ कसरी बुझेँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ माउन्टेन्स चाहिँ हामी नेपालमा छौँ, नेपालमा माउन्टेन छ, अनि वी सुड गो एन्ड ट्राभल बिकज यसले चाहिँ टुरिज्मलाई हेल्प गर्छ भनेर बुझेँ. तर फेरि सेकेन्ड थर्ड चाहिँ मैले बल्ल बुझेँ कि हजुरले भन्नु खोज्नुको, हजुरले चाहिँ के भन्नुभएको थियो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ यति नजिक छ माउन्टेन इज वेयर a lot of self-inquiry and self-discovering happens. So more of Nepalis should go leverage that, because more self-aware human beings, good for the society.
Yeah, it's good. For some it is very spiritual. We have the mountain छ नि हाम्रो पहाडहरु छ, हिमाल छ. अब हिमाल चढ्नै पर्छ भन्ने छैन हैन. रिट्रिट गर्नको लागि पनि you can go हैन. गएर basically retreat is to reflect upon a lot of things. And then I think the other thing is to periodically put yourself in discomfort. And so if you periodically put yourself in discomfort, then it's good for you, I think. जस्तै हेल्थमा पनि हामीले भन्छ नि, to give yourself little small doses of stress will strengthen you. So like that. So अलिकति discomfortमा राखेर get to know more about yourself. So in that format. So obviously you can take it as adventure, fun, and all of that included.
हजुरको इन्स्टाग्राम स्क्रोल गऱ्यो भने त all I see is mountains.
Yeah, so that has been quite a big passion of mine, to go out venture. It takes time, it takes energy, it takes a lot of things.
हजुरको चाहिँ जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल त्यो एडभेन्चरमा चाहिँ लाइक हुन्छ नि, हजुर त अब यु हेभ डन सम रियली टफ क्लाइम्बिङ पनि त होइन?
Not really tough, but I remember there was a book that came out long time back. It was I know that a lot of people have know of that incident in 1996. त्यो एउटा धेरै एउटा incident भएको थियो. A lot of people died in Mount Everest. And I read that book. It was called Into Thin Air. And त्यो किताब पढेपछि I was like, oh no man, I got म त अलिकति त घुम्नु पऱ्यो नेपाल होइन यति लेखेछ होइन सो स्टार्टेड बाई ट्र्याकिङ लिटल बिट हियर एन्ड देयर टाइम पाएँ कि यसो घुम्न जाने अनि बिस्तारै गर्दा गर्दै ल अलिकति हिमाल पनि अलिक चढौँ भनेर सो वी स्टार्टेड डुइङ लिटल बिट it's not easy so I'm still a beginner I'm still learning and hopefully it will continue
कुन हिमाल चढ्नु हजुरले
the trekking peaks mostly island peak we did twice Lobuche actually attempt गरेँ Mira peak गरेँ yeah so mostly these things
Ever plan to summit Everest?
maybe one day I don't know
किन त माउन्टेनको दिमागमा हुन्छ होला कि चाहिँ
no but
समिट भनेर
yeah but you know it's there I have to first have that confidence होइन पहिला सानो नै क्लाइम्ब गर्नु पर्यो to really have that confidence to climb bigger ones but I'm doing the smaller ones at this point so let me I'm also trying to have more confidence in myself
यो एडभेन्चर चाहिँ हजुरको यो स्किप हो कि इट्स अ प्रोसेस अफ सेल्फ डिस्कभरिङ योर सेल्फ मोर हो
all included it's a very holistic approach okay so I do practice yoga as well so yeah, I must have told you so yoga भने पनि it's not only the posture practice and you know all of that but that is there but it's also a very internal discipline so discipline is something that is very important in any endeavor and discipline भयो भने त धेरै चिज हुन्छ नि त so this also is it helps you so all of this put together is a holistic approach ni होइन so you try and put that in your day to day life होइन so I mean it's nice to have a philosophical conversation around all of these things but at the end is how you live your life ni होइन so that's what I try to live it to whichever best way possible
so much of work you do is to आफूलाई बुझ्नको जस्तो लाग्छ लास्ट टाइम आई टक टु यु वी वर टकिङ अबाउट बायोह्याकिङ होइन अ लट अफ रिसर्च द्याट यु डु चासो भइरहेछ भन्नेवाला कुरा हुन्छ इट्स लाइक एभ्री टाइम आई सिट एन्ड टक टु यु इट्स फिल लाइक अ न्यू च्याप्टर
No,
नयाँ च्याप्टर खोले जस्तो
I'll tell you about biohacking. It's very, very, very funny because Ayurveda, let's put it. हाम्रो Ayurveda has been given to us from अहिले होइन हजारौँ वर्ष अगाडिदेखि एन्ड हामी बच्चादेखि लिएर डक्टर कहाँ पहिला नगइकन होम रेमेडिज थियो नि वी ह्याड इट वाज कल्ड फोकलोर होइन अब यसो यसो खायो भने यो खायो भने ठिक होला भन्ने सो वी हेभ द्याट इन बिल्ट इन अस अलरेडी अब आएर अहिले आएर generally health when you look at it if you go to hospital is management of your disease होइन but I want to improve my health भनेर गयो भने त के भन्छ you can't improve your health नि so we need to improve our health with food and with proper exercise or spiritual practice or what have you so त्यो गर्नको लागि चाहिँ I think you need to have a certain know-how mindset होइन so yeah so we go and try and do that so biohacking is become a terminology and I give you another example intermittent fasting used to be called there was no word called intermittent fasting and all religions have fasting at some point I think Ramzan is going on that's a fasting for the Muslims Hinduहरूको छै छ हैन so all most religions have a quotient of fasting that's good for your health okay so once it's good for your health it's good for you so how do you स्वास्थ्य भन्छ नि त स्वास्थ्यलाई हामी कसरी इम्प्रुभ गर्ने so then you start thinking about how you eat what you eat when you eat all of that is also important हैन and the obviously अहिले के भयो भन्दाखेरि मिनरल सोइलको मिनरल जुन छ इट्स डिप्लिटिङ आई मिन फोहोर फैलिरहेछ you know how it is पहिला जस्तो तरकारी पाउँदैन all of that is औषधि छ so you know we have our own set of problems there so the better way is to start taking good quality supplementation so you know so you try and supplement with few things and you try and hack few of your normal things like sleep now how do you have better sleep so you try and read up on there's zillions of things on how do you improve sleep our sleep is the best supplement I would say हैन अब राम्रो निन्द्रा लाग्यो भने the next day is always good हैन so all of that included so it's a daily thing that you do why because you want to have a better quality life you know not only lifespan you want to have a health span and so the quality of your decision tomorrow will depend on how you're feeling. Throughout the day, you're going to have different states, no? And you want to be in a better state every time you make a decision, or whatever conversation like we are having right now. So, if we have a better better quality discussion or better quality decision, is good for you. So we call it biohacking, or we used to just call it swasthalai ramro kuraharu. I don't know how to explain it, but it's obviously now they've got these new terminologies built in. And then if a Western guy tells you got to have 8 glasses of water, then it's more meaningful for you. But पहिलेदेखि नै हामीले पानी खानुपर्छ, whatever. I'm just saying is when somebody puts it out there in the West, it becomes a thing. But then we had it long time ago.
आई स्पिरिचुअल मतलब
Little bit.
हँस्नु कुरा हार्दाखेरि चाहिँ हुन्छ नि म कस्तो फिल आउने भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ बट हेज नट गट स्टार्टेड हुन्छ नि आइम जस्ट अन द अर्ली फेज भनौँ नि देन आई गेट टु नो योर स्पिरिचुअल साइड देन द क्लाइम्बिङ थिङ देन द बाइकिङ इट्स फिल लाइक हुन्छ नि युआर प्रिपेरिङ योर सेल्फ फर समथिङ हुन्छ नि आफूलाई रेडी बनाएर राखे जस्तो कि राइट टाइम आउँछ नि आम गोना अल युज दिस स्ट्रेन्थवाला
Who knows what will happen. तर के छ भन्दाखेरि you got to be there. You got to do all the things that you need to do. अब हुने नहुने त्यो आफ्नो ठाउँमा छ, तर आफ्नो काम त गर्नु पर्यो होइन. सो what will happen is अब मेरो कन्ट्रोलमा छैन, no yours, but if you just keep on putting the hard work, someday त हुन्छ नि. It's just matter of time.
यो 30-35 को एजमा चाहिँ अलिकति हुँदो रहेछ क्या दाइ, मतलब जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल द डिजायर टु रिस्टार्ट अगेन बिकज यु फिल लाइक यु हेभ नट मेड इट हुन्छ नि, अनि यु फिल लाइक दिस पाथ विल नट टेक यु वे यु वान गो होइन. मेबी मैले रिसेट गरेर फेरि सुरुदेखि स्क्रचबाट सुरु गर्ने हो कि बिकज यु फिल लाइक यु हेभ टाइम हुन्छ नि, इन्स्टेड अफ बिल्डिङ अपन थिङ्स द्याट यु हेभ अलरेडी बिल्ड रिसेट गरौँ कि जस्तो फिलिङहरू हुन्छ होइन. अनि आई थिङ्क यु हेभ फुटी इट होइन. मैले यो एज किन भनिरहेको हुन्छ, एज इज जस्ट नम्बर, तर आई थिङ्क इट डज क्रिक मतलब गिभ यु द्याट सेन्स जस्तो लाग्छ कि हुन्छ नि. वेन आई टक टु समबडी यङ एफ 24 आइम 34 आई फिल लाइक हुन्छ एज इज जस्ट नम्बर बट द्याट फ्यु थिङ्स द्याट आई हेभ इट द्याट आई क्यान पास इट टु दिस गाई एन्ड मेबी ही क्यान मेक अ बेटर डिसिजन भन्नेवाला कुरा एजले केही न केही देखेकै हुन्छ होइन. सो त्यो हिसाबमा चाहिँ अस्ति पनि म आफ्नो कुरा लिएर आएँ होसँग होइन. अनि यो कन्फ्युजन्सहरू यो डिसेटिस्फ्याक्सनहरू यो अझै मैले गर्न सक्दैनवाला योलाई चाहिँ कसरी राइट तरिकाको म्यानेजमेन्ट चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्छ होला?
Let me give you a little analogy. अब म हिमाल चढ्दाखेरि यत्रो देख्छ होइन, यसो हेर्दा त सक्दैन सोच्छ नि, बट यु स्टार्ट बाई टेकिङ वान स्टेप नि. I know the cliched one, 1,000 miles starts off with one step. But you do that, and then the next step, and the next step, and then you plan for that one day, and you go on. Eventually, you will get there. So it's all about that. If you are focused and you find your true calling, I mean, it's very rare that you find your true calling at early age, and I'm lucky that I found mine. I think a lot of people who are going through whatever they're going through, at least entrepreneurs, it's a lonely road, and you do it without much support, you do it without much financial backing, you do it with irrespective of all of that, but you keep doing it. And we just hope that one day that it'll happen. And if you do it long enough, it can happen. I don't know how else to say it.
दाइ हामी अलमोस्ट पडकास्टको एन्डतिर आइरहेको छौँ होइन. सो मलाई सोध्नु मन लागेको कुरा चाहिँ what are you most excited about for next 5 years, more next 10 years, if you have to be very specific? आफ्नो बिजनेसमा, आफ्नो इन्डस्ट्रीमा, आफूले गरेर कामहरूमा.
I'm really, really excited about where the steel industry is going. I know it's a tough thing right now to say, and then but I think we can be a lot more. Let's put it. Focus around quality and focusing around being more sustainable and trying to be predominantly made in Nepal. That is what that's my hope, that we can be a very local steel company, and be good enough, not better. Okay, and so I think that trajectory I'm really on that, and I'm really excited about it. And hopefully huncha hola. I think we're getting there, and I have this deep belief that I'm going to do it.
If you have to put a number to it, कति टाइम लाग्छ होला हामीलाई सेल्फ सस्टेनेबल सस्टेन
If
कन्ट्री स्टिलमा इफ एभ्रिथिङ गोज वेल?
Yeah, so like I said, the technology is looking up in the near future. New technologies are coming up. Really good technologies are coming up, and
By technology you mean AI?
everything put together. AI, the technologies that are coming up in clean tech, and the renewables that are coming up. Like, look at what Gampawan are doing. I think they're doing a great job. Large storage batteries are coming up. So all these things put together. You know? So I think there's a big possibility that we can do it more locally, right? And I think we know how to navigate that piece of business now. We just have to get over this hurdle of at this point in terms of funding, in terms of the market, conditions today. But it's coming. You got to believe in yourself, man. That's all I can say. I cannot advise you otherwise. It's a hard thing to put that in somebody. And garo cha ni, to keep pushing yourself and believing in yourself despite all of these bad things that are happening.
Okay, अनि कहिले के त भन्छ नि अब you don't see a light के त्यो टनलमा, it's all dark हुन्छ नि अनि
Yeah, हामी त्यही त हो नि. We all हामी त्यो we like to blame we like to curse the dark, and you should just be that little flicker of light in that.
अनि अस्ति एउटा दाइले क्या खतरा भनिदिनु अनि त्यो मेरो दिमागमा छ कि अनुप मेबी इन्स्टेड अफ लुकिङ फर होप हाउ अबाउट बी अ होप रे कि
Be that hope.
बी द्याट होप रे कि फक हुन्छ नि
Yeah.
खतरा भन्ने हो नि अनि आजकल त मैले
See, the thing is that you should be able to demonstrate that. Right? It's instead of describing it, I should be able to demonstrate it.
एकदमै
So
एकदमै
पहिले त्यो
डिस्क्राइबै गर्न नपरोस्
त्यो कुरै मात्र गरेर त भएन नि.
भएन.
I have to go and do it also. So ठिक छ, त्यो गर्दा गर्दा you fail once, twice, thrice, but you have to get back on, do it. So that is the pain. That is the pain in that many endeavors that it takes for you to do the thing that you really want to do. It's hard for everybody. It's not, it's not about the music today scene is very much accepted. I know. So guys are doing pretty well today. So slowly that ecosystem is evolving in a pretty dynamic way. If you look at the sports, it's coming up. NPL Osti Bhoyo. It's doing. I mean, it's coming up, and slowly things will happen.
100%.
Yeah, you just got to. I think if you look at negativity, you'll find it. If you look at positivity, you'll find it, and it's
you'll find what you're looking for.
Exactly. Yeah.
मजा आयो दाइ.
Absolutely. I think I had more fun than you. Just
No comments.
Yeah.
केही छ दाइ जाँदै हाम्रो युथलाई भन्न मन लागेको कुरा हुन त धेरै कुरा भनिसक्यो होइन त्यही पनि सटिक वेमा केही बिकज
I think you do as many things as you can, and you got time, and find somewhere along the line you'll find your true calling and the stuff that you really like. Then you go 200% in it. That's it.
अनि आज हजुरको यो 1.5 आवरको पडकास्ट सुनेर इफ समबडी कोही भाइ बहिनी फ्रम एनीवेयर अराउन्ड द वर्ल्ड विदिन द कन्ट्री आउटसाइड द कन्ट्री दे वान रिच आउट टु यु विथ सम लजिकल थिङ अफ कोर्स होइन नट जस्ट से हाई होइन इफ दे वान राइट अ मेसेज टु यु के होला बेस्ट प्लेस दे क्यान रिच आउट टु यु
Yeah, so I'll keep my email. They can email me. You can put
इमेल भनिदिनुहुन्छ
Yeah, you can put it in the podcast.
या भनिदिनुहुन्छ हजुरले
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll put it down in the
डिस्क्रिप्सन
Yeah, otherwise, there's my Instagram, Hama Steel ko Instagram. Just send a DM there. We'll get the message.
नाइ इमेल एड्रेस हजुरले अहिले भनिदिनुहुन्छ
It's rajan@hamasteel.com.
rajan@hamasteel.com or hamasteel Instagram
Yeah,
if they reach out to you they'll
absolutely. Reach out. Maybe we, if I have a small group, maybe we'll all can sit down somewhere, have a chat.
small gift I
Oh, okay.
this flower for you.
Nice. My wife is going to be happy.
Okay. So this is
Thank you.
यहाँ भित्र एउटा प्लान्ट पनि छ
Okay.
हामीले चाहिँ यो हिमालय फ्लोरिकल्चर भन्ने एउटा ब्रदर हुनुहुन्छ उहाँले चाहिँ गोदावरीमा 12 रोपनीको जग्गा लिजमा लिएर रोज प्लान्टिङ गर्नुहुन्छ अनि एन्ड टु एन्ड आफैले प्लान्ट गर्ने र घरसम्म डेलिभरी गरिदिने उहाँको एउटा कम्पनी छ हिमालय फ्लोरिकल्चर एन्ड दे आर क्वाइट पपुलर नेपाल बाहिर चाहिँ अलिक पपुलर हुँदो रहेछ बिकज अ लट पिपल आर सेन्डिङ फ्लावर्स टु दे लभड वान्स होइन
ओके
अनि सो उहाँले चाहिँ मलाई के भन्नु भन्दाखेरि अनुप सर कसरी होला यो फ्लावर गिफ्टिङ कल्चरलाई चाहिँ B2Bमा कर्पोरेटमा पनि उ गर्दाखेरि ल वी ब्रिङ अ लट अफ कर्पोरेट लिडर्स कोलाबरेट गरौँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अनि दे स्टार्ट सपोर्टिङ अस सो दिस इज फर यु दाई
yeah maybe
very
I'll
young
give it a
guy,
call.
amazing entrepreneur.
Yeah,
And if you ever think of gifting somebody a flower or
absolutely.
a
Thank
plant,
you so much. Thank you so much.
they're
This
like,
is the one that gives more oxygen.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I figure that on your bedroom, right? All right.
amazing दाइ मजा आयो होइन
Absolutely.
तर आई डोन्ट थिङ्क मैले आई बिन एबल टु आई हेभ स्क्रच इनफ आई फिगर आउट मोर रिजन्स टु हेभ यु ब्याक अगेन अन आवर
Part
पडकास्ट
two.
पार्ट 2
Okay. Let's see if everybody wants a part two.
अनि यति भन्दा भन्दै फर एभ्रीबडी विच वाचिङ दिस यहाँसम्म हेर्नुभयो भने कुरोज टु द पेसेन्स आई थिङ्क टन्स अफ टेक अवेज टन्स अफ इन्सपिरेसन राजन दाई अमेजिङ एनर्जी द्याट आई मेट हुन्छ नि अब आई क्यानट एक्सप्लेन
Thank you.
होइन अनि जसलाई त्यो रिलेटेबल फिल भयो भने ड्राफ्ट अ नाइस मेसेज पिपल रेस्पोन्ड होइन अनि आई होप दिस एपिसोड विल ओपन अप अ डोर फर लट अफ सिमिलर पिपल अन द्याट लेयर टु कम आउट एन्ड स्पिक किन भन्दाखेरि आई थिङ्क हामी विवाद होइन हामी संवाद गर्छौँ
That's a nice one. Yeah.
and for everybody who's watching this, no, the camera it's just two of us talking, but behind the camera, there are amazing people making sure everything works perfect. And I'll also like to thank our company, Bfinders, which is making this happen. Bfinders is one of the largest B2B content producer. यदि तपाईँलाई आफ्नो कन्टेन्ट प्रड्युस गर्न मन छ सेल्ससँग जोड्न मन छ सेल्स इन्क्रिज गर्न मन छ थ्रु कन्टेन्ट स्ट्राटेजी यु वान एक्टिभेट यर सोसल ह्यान्डल्स we are one of the largest content producers in the country in B2B space. Reach out to us. Tell us we do from strategy, execution, distribution, and reporting everything. Podcast में हाम्रो एउटा के भनाइ छ भन्दाखेरि you walk in with the guest, you walk out with the guest. We take care of the rest. So reach out to us if you want to learn about how you can use content to grow your business, brand, or anything that you're doing. We'll be back again with another amazing episode. Till then, you guys take care. Bye bye.